Guinness Draught is known around the world as the prominent Irish stout. Yet, Guinness Foreign Extra Stout is the company's best-selling beer, making up 45% of all sales. This Guinness variation has a rather extensive and interesting history. How does it stand up against other stouts in the category? Find out now on Two Dudes Reviews. Originally produced in 1801, the Guinness West India Porter was made for Irish immigrants working in the Caribbean. Made with higher levels of alcohol and hops, the beer crossed the Atlantic in barrels to be bottled locally at destinations around the Caribbean. Then the United States in 1817, Africa in 1827, and finally Asia in 1860. The beer received its Guinness Foreign Extra Stout moniker in 1848. Does the Foreign Extra deserve to stand as the company's top seller? Only one way to find out. What up, guys? Yeah, we have the Guinness Foreign Extra Stout right here, and so let's crack it open and we can talk while we're going. This is going to be one of those kinds of beers that will change how it tastes depending on where you have it. So Guinness doesn't have to ship this around the world in barrels any longer. They have production facilities all around the place. There's one in Jamaica, there's one in Malaysia, there's one in Africa, I believe Nigeria in Africa. And each of the breweries uses locally sourced products. And so when you're using different products in each location, it's going to vary some. So while they try to keep a universal one where that's shipped in Ireland, the United States and stuff, in other locations such as Asia, it will vary. And that's also why this is the top-selling Guinness in the world. It's because this is made in Malaysia, so they're going to drink this. This is made in Jamaica, so they're going to drink this kind. So that explains why not the Draught, this is the most prolific Guinness around the world. So, alright, as you can see, unlike your normal Guinness Draught, it doesn't have the head. It's not infused with nitrogen, so you're not going to have that. And it does have a higher alcohol level. I believe it is at 7.5%, and that will vary a little bit depending on where you drink it. And yeah, since it's going to be extra hoppy, it's going to be extra bitter because it does use more hops. They make it the same way, essentially the same way that they did back in the 1800s when they were shipping it all over the place. So, all right, let's get into the smell. You get the hoppiness right off the bat. It's not to the extent, not like an IPA hoppy, but you get the almost dark, really, really dark chocolate, not sweetened at all. So you have that heavy, dark chocolate smell to it. Slight barley, not too much on that though. And you get a hint of a coffee bean in there too. Not much. I'd have to say the dark chocolate aroma is really what hits you. The bitter dark chocolate. So it's interesting. I like it. So I'm going to recommend it on the smell. So all right, let's go for the taste. Oh yeah, you definitely get the bitterness over what you normally get with a Guinness. That's for sure. It's almost there is a hint of sweetness to it. It's almost like a molassesy kind of flavor to the stout. It does have bitter. It's not overpoweringly bitter. You have that kind of coffee-like flavor you get from a normal Guinness, but it has that like molasses kind of flavor to it. It's the texture is I'm not gonna say thick, but it is thicker. It is heavier than your normal Guinness. So yeah, I'm gonna move away from the dark chocolate flavors that I got for the smell and move more towards a bitter molasses kind of flavor to it. It still has a little hint of the coffee, but I think the bitter molasses is really more of what I'm getting out of this. It is it seems a little thicker on the palate than the other Guinnesses. Of course, it doesn't have the nitrogen infusion, so that is going to play a factor in comparing them. Of course, I don't know if it's necessarily fair to compare a regular Guinness Draught with the Guinness Foreign Extra. It is. I do like it. I like it a lot. It's different. I like the molasses kind of flavor to it. It's not super duper bitter, even though this actually has a considerable more higher level of hops than your general IPA. I think because of how it's made in a stout form, that the bitterness doesn't come out as much. I think the other flavors kind of it masks some of the bitterness a little bit, but I like the flavor. It's almost like a nice hybrid of a nice stout and an IPA. It's like if you like both of those, you're gonna love this. So I'm gonna recommend the flavor. Yes, absolutely. So the next category is value for price. This beer does cost more than your average Guinness. I believe I paid about $2.50-ish for the bottle, the single bottle. I'm sure you can buy it in 6-packs. I would. Guinness is wide enough spread that you should be able to get it in 6-pack. So honestly, if you want a beer, multiple stouts, multiple heavier stouts than a normal Guinness, something of that nature, this would be a good bargain. Not a bargain. Bargain's not the right word. It would be a good buy for that kind of for a beer. You're not going to get a lot of these stouts, especially the heavier stouts, in these 6-packs. Widely available. So for value for price, I'm going to go for yes. If you're looking for a bulk situation, absolutely. Now category 4 is drinkability, and that's, can I drink multiple of these in a row? Of course, with the more hops, the higher alcohol content of the 7.5% again, that kind of all goes into it, but even though it has a higher alcohol content, it's not, you don't drink it and you don't taste the alcohol right away. It's not like, oof, that is strong. You don't really get that. You can tell it's a higher percentage than other Guinness products out there, but that doesn't make it harder to drink. This is, it's approaching with the higher alcohol content, it's approaching more of a session kind of beer. I think if the alcohol percentage was 1 or 2% higher, it would be something that you're going to have to do one and move on. But I think since, I'm going to recommend it just because for drinkability, because it is something that I think you could have multiple ones for. And I like it, and yeah, I'm going to recommend it for the drinkability factor, yes. So the next category is distinction. It's how different is it from other stouts out there. Now, that's where it gets, how really different is it from other stouts. It does have the higher bitterness, which I like. Of course, stouts, in terms of alcohol content, it's kind of across the board. It just depends on what kind of stout you're going for. I feel like if it's usually the Irish nitro-infused stouts, they have a lower alcohol content, probably around 5 to 4. And then you have other stouts out there which are, approaching on the porters, which this used to be called, with the higher alcohol content. And I I mean, I like the molasses. I like the. I really like everything about it. I'm just trying to look at how different it is from it. It's essentially Guinness with the darker chocolate molasses flavor and a higher alcohol content. But you know what? I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna recommend it on distinction. I think it is different enough from a lot of the porters from the pretty much all the other Guinness products out there that yes, I'm gonna recommend that for the distinction. And so lastly, would I buy it again? I'm gonna say yes. I would buy it again. I enjoy it. I actually think I like this Guinness better than the regular Guinness, which I don't know if you call it blasphemy if you want to, but it makes sense to me why it is the top-selling Guinness beer in the world. It just has a little bit extra complexity that the other Guinness I feel like doesn't have. I enjoy another Guinness. I like nitro infusion when it's done properly, but I enjoy this. It's it's not over the top with the hoppiness. I feel like it's just right. The alcohol percentage is just right. I feel like if either of those were heavier, then it'd be all right, but not as good as it is here. So I feel like that experimentation of shipping it all over the world in the 1800s has really paid off. 200 years, I'd hope you could pay off. So yeah, since I really like this, I'm gonna say. And since it's got a perfect score, it gets the Two Dudes official stamp of approval. So yeah, that is my review of the Guinness Foreign Extra Stout. If you've had it before, let me know. Write your comments down below. Tell me what you think. If you'd love one of these glasses, I got a link down there. I have this nice Guinness all-in Irish glass. This is one of my favorite glasses. Please subscribe to the station. We have more beer reviews going up all the time. We have a few of the shows that you might like. You can check out. Check out our podcast at Two Dudes in a Six Pack. We cover beers and just kind of pop culture and all sorts of other stuff that's going on. I got a link for that down below too, so check that out. And yeah, just, if you liked it, like the video, subscribe. Love to have it. And so for now, for me, Grayson, and Chris, take it easy.